I'm sorry.
179, yes. And then right click, apply filters, select it, and just close it out. And now I see it here. Okay, and then I go to statistics again. I do protocol hierarchy, and then I go to hypertext transfer protocol, apply filter and select it, and close it out, and then I go to get. I just wanted to go to the get one, and then follow and TCP stream, and here it is, Macintosh, Intel, Mac OS.
Yep. And if you were to actually look up the Mac OS or OS 10 or OS 10.15.1, does anybody know what the call name for that, or the name for that particular OS version was?
Not really, but we can Google it.
Catalina. Very good job. Now, Priya, you got that it was an Apple, but you said it was an Apple server.
I did not add the second search, Richard. The protocol hierarchy, I totally skipped it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you see where you okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is everybody else kind of seeing how this is working?
Yeah, I skipped that step totally. I don't know why.
No worries. All right, so I will go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, so now we got that info. All right, so this one here is kind of the same thing, but they're just actually asking specifically what version of Windows is being used on that particular IP. So I'm gonna let you walk through it.
11.200.
Somebody want to walk me through it?
Do you want to do it?
Ishmael or Sukru or no?
Sukru, do you want to do it? Ismail, go ahead.
I do it, but I think it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Which might not be true, by the way. So, but walk me through, please. So, can I share my screen?
Yeah, either you can share yours or you can walk me through it, whichever way you want to go.
Oh, hold on. What am I supposed to do now?
Here, I'll go ahead and stop sharing. Now, are you doing it a different way, Sukru?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right.
Maybe. Yeah, this is my screen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
First, I go to the IP address here.
Yep.
Then I get some information. So maybe statistics endpoint. Then no, not like this. Yeah, garbage. Oh, okay.
So you've got your IP address there. So what you could try to do is go ahead and go to your protocol hierarchy. So it's up, yep, down right there.
Perfect.
And, you should have hypertext transfer protocol in there. So now you right click on that. Right click. And then apply as filter, but you want to select and selected. Right there. There you go. And now close it out. And now I would probably use the get.
Get.
Yeah, one of the ones that starts off with a get, which is a little bit further down. Whoop. There was one right up there. There you go.
This is get, yeah.
There you go. So just right click on that and then left click on follow TCP stream. So what version of Windows is it running?
Windows NT 10.0.
Is it the 32-bit or the 64-bit?
Okay.
64.
64, yeah.
Yep. So this is Windows 10 64-bit.
Yes, it is.
That's it. All right.
That's it. Okay, thank you so much.
So here's the cool thing about this. This little step here really kind of hammers home knowing how to search for endpoints and understand what operating system and what kind of endpoint that was. So super, super beneficial when it comes to looking at network traffic. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, it's awesome. And you just did to row. I was gonna ask you, can you remind, because it was from our class, can you remind how we look for the file, how we restore the file? So if we have a file there, so we go to raw, and then we can
It depends on what it is. Okay. On this next, when we get a few steps from now, we're actually going to be pulling a file from here.
okay.
So I like your excitement, but hang on for me for just a couple minutes.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. And we're going to get back over to our task list. So we just got version of Windows here. So now they say, what is the user account name used to log into the Windows host at 10.11.11.200? So what do you think we might be using in this particular search?
User account name.
Maybe application layer. We can look at the application layer.
Okay.
Um,
What are they asking from us? What do they want us? What are they wanting from us?
what is the user account name used to log into Windows host? So we look at the host and IP address. So we have to look at the IP address again. We have to find the IP address. So we go to statistics and filter this endpoint and do this IP 200. Yeah, selected. Okay. And then just
Let me ask you a question. We talked
Yeah.
about Windows logins at the very beginning of this session, didn't we? What did we create to make it easier to see Windows logins?
oh,
the
CNAME
string,
string.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
CNAME string.
So guess what we can do? We can legitimately, I mean, we could scroll through this entire thing if we wanted to, right?
Mhm.
But
There's
Yeah.
an easier way. If you sort,
oh, look at this.
you'll see it. And we're looking
Brandon.
for this IP, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who logged in?
Brandon Gilbert.
Brandon Gilbert, and he logged into, what's the host name of the computer?
TGS.
Nope, right here.
No. Oh, okay,
Windows
okay.
7
Gilbert Win 7 PC. Oh, okay, okay.
The host name always ends with PC.
Yeah, PC and $sign. I see, I see. Gilbert.
Richard, why is my CNAME string totally empty? Any idea what went wrong?
I'm not sure.
I has the CNAME string on the top, but all the username and passwords, they are missing.
Okay, let's do this. Go ahead and why don't you share your screen?
I am on a different, I'm watching on one and doing on one, so I don't know. I have to open up Zoom here to do it.
Gotcha. Okay. Without seeing it, I don't totally know. It sounds like maybe the column that you created for your CNAME might be a little bit different. Like maybe you accidentally clicked on the wrong thing.
Could be.
It is possible. For instance, I can actually redo it here. So if I look at anything where there's the port 88, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get the Kerberos. So again, if I click on Kerberos, ENC or CNAME, sorry, TGS rep and CNAME.
CNAME string, yeah, at the bottom.
It brings me here. This one here, this is where it's creating column.
Apply as column, yeah.
So
I'll try.
Here's something else you can do. Hang on 1 second.
For some reason, I found PC name, but host name, but I couldn't find like you did, Brandon Gilbert. I don't have it.
Okay, so did you sort by CNAME string?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you sort by CNAME string, it'll put it at the top, and you should have.
Actually, I sorted. Hold on 1 second. I just sorted. I have.
Priya, double check yours. Just sort by CNAME string and then scroll all the way to the top.
What do you want me to do? Can you repeat?
Sort. So just click on CNAME string and that'll sort. And then
Yeah. Just click on CNAME, and it will
and then just
choose
scroll all
everything.
the way to the top. So
Yeah, I found it.
did you find it?
I still don't have it. There's something wrong I did. I don't know.
Scroll all the way to the bottom.
I'm doing that now.
Because you guys do understand that when you have columns like this, when you click on them, you either sort ascending or descending. And it tells you right here on any column when you sort, see the little arrow? When it's pointing down, it's descending. So that means that it's actually putting everything in descending order. If you put it the other way, it goes everything ascending order.
Ascending order.
Yep.
Yeah.
You should have that there though.
Maybe I'm not seeing right. I don't know, but it's okay. I did get the idea, so I will try to recreate that column and see.
Perfect. Well, the cool thing there is we were able to get the username and the host name of that computer. And the host name always ends with what?
$sign.
PC. $sign.
Yep. Okay. That's how you can differentiate between the two, right? Pretty easy there. All right, so the next one is what operating system and type of device is on 10.11.11.217. We're going to skip that one for the moment. Okay, this is the one that we want to start looking at. This is actually where we're going to see our file. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a search string. So clear out your filters. And you're actually going to run a search string just like this. It's going to be very simple. IP contains this program.
Contains this program.
Yep.
Okay.
And when you get that, hit enter.
You
should only get one packet.
Yep.
Okay, so that you understand what that is, and he goes into detail in the video as well. But when you have an executable file and I guess the file runs or can't run, there is a string. It's basically an error code that's there. And you can type that string and you can type IP contains quotes this program, and it will take you to a file that was an executable that was downloaded that could not run. So in this particular case, this actually is leading us to a potentially a file basically that we can look at. So this was on IP, the IP actual address is 10.11.11.203. And that's actually the question is what IP address is the Windows host that downloaded a Windows executable file over HTTP. So we know this is over HTTP because it went from port 80 to destination port 49196. That answers that question. So the next question says, what is the URL that returned the Windows executable file? So if we just take this TCP protocol here and or this packet and follow the TCP stream on this one, it'll actually give us some very helpful information. Okay. So
Yeah, MZ.
do you have this? Do you have this too, Priya?
Actually, my Kali is frozen. I'm not able to do anything at this point.
I got it to check.
I hate when it does that. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Do you want to go ahead and restart your Kali?
yeah, I'm doing that now.
Go ahead and restart your Kali and get that going, and then you can kind of watch so you can see.
Yeah.
Okay. First things first. Based on what we learned before, we know that we have Windows 7 on this particular computer, right? Or actually, I take that back. We have Windows NT 6.
NT.
Yeah. So this is the Trident version of Windows. The host is the domain name that this file came from. So it's agjabagados. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to copy that here because I'm going to need it here in just a minute. But you always put this together with your get information. And that's actually the domain website. That's the link where that file was downloaded. Okay. So you have your host. So again, that's just your main domain. And then you have the extension here, which tells you where the file is. Now, this file says it's a .tiff, and it also tells you that right here, that the content type is an image, a TIFF file.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not, and it's not because when you look at the header, the file header, the
Okay.
file header says
MZ.
that the file is MZ. MZ is executable. So this is not a picture file. This is an executable masquerading as a picture file. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
So very good, important information. On the one question it says, what is the URL that returned the Windows executable file? And again, just for consistency here, what is the URL that returned the Windows executable file? That is this right here.
Yeah.
Oh my, I can't even say it. Abjabogados.
Agjabagados. So that answers that question, right? The next thing that we can look at, or that it wants, is what is the SHA-256 file hash for that Windows executable file? So this is where we can actually recreate this file, okay? So there's an easier way to do it than what we did the day that we did that one where we had the cat picture.
Cat, yeah.
If you just go here to File and go to Export Objects, HTTP, and again, we know that this was downloaded over HTTP, right? So it wasn't encrypted, it was unencrypted. This is going to give us all of the objects that were downloaded via HTTP. Now, the thing to keep in mind here, there's a lot of stuff, right? So what do we have that we can type here as a text filter to be able to find easily that file?
MZ.
How about the
domain name?
and when you do that, look what it gives you. It gives you one listing. It's packet 11979 Agjabagados.
And how did you go? Can you show it one more time, please? You went to File, right? Export Objects, HTTP. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Mhm.
And then all I did was I just looked for the domain name.
Copy and paste.
Yeah, because the host name is going to be there, because when you look at these here, I tell you, before I even look at this, look at your columns. You have, if you know the packet number, you could go directly to it. If you know the host name, you could go that way. If you know the file name, you could do it that way also. Like we could do, it was 40, oh my gosh, sorry. 40 group, GROUP. And that would also get us there as well too. So file name or the host name, either one will get you there. When I click on this, if I click save, it is going to save that file to my computer. It's going to extract that information and recreate that file. Now, make sure you're not doing this in your host machine. We talked about this earlier, okay? So please make sure you're in your virtual machine. But when I save, obviously I'm going to tell it where I want it. I want it to go into my downloads folder, and I'm going to say save. It's already there, so I'm just going to pretend like I hit save. And now I can actually go out of Wireshark and look, there's my file.
Mhm.
It's a picture. It looks like a flag. It's a picture, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, let's do this. Let's do the whoopsie, I double clicked on it.
Bad boy.
Open document. File type DOS/Windows executable. Applications XMS-DOS executable is not supported. So obviously this is not a picture, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's something we can do. There's a couple things we can do. So the first thing
Calculate. Let's calculate the hash.
that's exactly what we're going to go do. So if we open up another command line,
Mm-hmm.
now we need to be in that directory, right? So I'm going to go to my downloads directory. Oh, it might help if I actually spell it right. So there's my file, right? So, and I obviously already typed this in earlier, so I can just go to that right there. SHA-256-SUM 40group.tif, and there is our.
There's the hash.
Yep. Now, I did this earlier on purpose as well too. So I grabbed also the MD5 sum, because in FireEye or your endpoint detection in FireEye, you cannot use the 256, you have to use the MD5. So I went and grabbed the MD5, and actually that's the MD5 that we put into FireEye last night, remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, yes. Yes,
Can you
I
check
remember.
this hash in VirusTotal?
What's that?
Can you check this hash in VirusTotal?
Oh, absolutely. And that's actually the next thing you do. If you look at the next question actually asks you, hang on one second, let me get back over there. So they want what is the hash, and then what is the detection rate for the hash in VirusTotal?
Oh my God.
Let's-
I wrote these questions probably. Just kidding.
Actually, there's one nice thing that I actually think you need to realize. It actually shows that you're thinking exactly like you need to be thinking. So that's perfect. So this is a generic Trojan with
Wow.
a
It's a
RIP
bad one.
8 out of
Wow.
70. Yeah. Not a good one, right?
Mm.
Give me one sec. I'm going to pause recording and say goodnight to my daughter. Be right back. Let me get back to the recording. All right. So you're exactly right, though, Elena, though. The next step is to obviously double check your hash, see what's going on. And obviously, we got a pretty big risk score, 58 out of 70, right? So that answers that question. So right here, so 58 out of 70. This last one here, I'm going to be honest, we don't have time to go into this last one because we actually have to set up another function, and we don't have time to go through it right now. It takes a few minutes to set up, so what we'll do is we'll kind of hold that off for next time, and we'll finish that up next time. But it's not really a hugely important one anyways, but I mean it was kind of important, but ultimately, you know, it is what it is. But one real quick thing I thought was kind of cool. So I decided to get a little bit I guess you could say stupid or crazy or whatever. I decided to go ahead and rename this. Take away the TIFF and put exe. And ooh, now what? So now if we run it, what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at this. We actually have data. We have all kinds of different stuff in here.
Wow.
Strings and just all kinds of text and stuff. I mean, it's some of the stuff won't even pull out. So this obviously has got some malicious stuff and, you know, some things that they can use.
But you cannot open it, right? Anyway, see, it's still the image there.
Yeah. Well, that's the image that they used as part of the graphic so that it actually had that picture there, right? So that when you looked at the TIFF, it looked like it was just a picture.
So you would click on it and then it could extract all the data.
Exactly. It does whatever it's going to do.
Mhm.
Now, what I can do is I could take this file, and I obviously could upload this file to Hybrid Analysis. I can upload it to Cuckoo. And I think what we're going to do next time is I'm actually going to take that file and I'll upload it, and we'll take a look at that. We'll also take a look at the last couple of questions. If you're going to work through this on your own and you want to do those last parts, feel free. The third item here, this setup right here is actually that last filter setup.
Oh, the C. Okay. Hmm.
And just to give you a real quick overview of what that filter setup does, every time that we type in a filter into Wireshark, oops, did I close my Wireshark? Oh, I guess I closed my Wireshark. My bad. Whenever you set up a filter in Wireshark, you are going to be, I mean, you don't want to have to type a filter you use all the time. You don't want to have to retype that filter all the time or save it somewhere and copy and paste it. So what you can do in Kali Linux or in Wireshark is you can actually create a filter that'll be there all the time. And we'll walk through setting that up. And there's a filter that the gentleman actually utilized that allows you to see what IP addresses were being communicated with after that file was executed, which can be pretty important, right? But in this particular case, it's not a huge deal, but it does give us some additional information that could be very, very important if there were an executable file that got executed and communicated with a couple other computers, because that gives you some additional IP addresses to look at. So we'll take a look at those, and we'll kind of go from there. But next time we'll also be working on our SOC playbook page. So please make sure that you're working on that SOC playbook page. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm not trying to, get you to copy exactly what's, on a SOC playbook or anything. I just want you to think through the process of what should be in a SOC playbook for a particular type of offense. So for those of you that haven't written a SOC playbook page, it can be very, very helpful. Does that make sense?
I did actually a malicious code. Do you want me to send it to you?
If you want to, or you can hold on to it till Friday.
Yeah, I can hold on to it.
Yeah, either way works. So awesome. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording unless anybody has any questions.
It was really amazing.
No questions? Okay, so let me go ahead and stop the recording then.
Learned a lot.